The dealer can give you a W like that. The dealer can give you something like that. The dealer can give you something like that. Now, from your TDI, you will find that all these patterns on your TDI, all these patterns on your TDI will be, this one will be like this, meaning your MPL will be moving right there and your boundary will be moving right there. Your first leg becomes this one. Your second leg becomes this one. Your third leg becomes this one. Same applies with this one as well. Your first leg becomes this one. Your second leg becomes this one. And your third leg becomes this one. So now if we go to our chart, you will realize that this leg is that leg there, is that leg right there, is this one on your TDI. Then this leg is this one on your TDI. So you could have entered at leg number 2, but then after seeing that the dealer pulled back for the third chance, you would increase your lot size. That's why I said that every time when a dealer pulls back on me, every time when a dealer pulls back on me, it is an opportunity. That's what people don't understand. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here is the dealer coming out of the Asian session, and then he buys. Let's say you had entered right here and you got $50 here. Pardon me, I don't talk about pips. I talk about money because we eat money, we don't eat pips. Then the dealer pulled back on you, meaning right there, you would have been on $2 profit instead of $50. I know at the back of your mind, because you once saw a $50 profit, you start to panic. Some of you can even decide to close a pair because you are now seeing $2 profit. But as for me, I will actually increase my lot size. I will actually increase my lot size right here because I'm expecting a bigger move. That's the reason why I can risk my whole account and still go away with it. I know it's crazy, but that's exactly how it is. That's why I can risk my account and still go away with it. So I hope I have answered this question correctly. Then someone said, what's tomorrow's sentiment on Euro USD? I said that these guys, they closed the market exactly right there. Tomorrow, they are acting as if they want to go down, but that's a lie. We know that we want 3 by ADR. So they have to stop hunt again the following day and go up. That's the sentiment that I can tell you about Euro USD tomorrow. There is no any other better sentiment. That's the only sentiment. The only thing you need to do is to look for something that looks like this tomorrow, and you just pull the trigger and sacrifice your account. Now, someone is saying, how does ADR high and ADR low help? Okay, that's a very important question. ADR helps us a lot to know the direction of our market. All right, we were expecting a safety trade here, but for me to know how long or how deep my stop hunt will go, I will have to know the position of my ADR. So once I was told that this is my ADR low, I then knew that it's closer to my Asian box. So my dealer will stop hunt to my ADR low and go to the ADR high. Even without analyzing, I know that the dealer has to hit the ADR low and go to the ADR high. If my ADR is actually far away the Asian box, I'm expecting the dealer to either consolidate for the whole day, or I'm expecting the dealer to actually stop hunt clearly, even if he doesn't get to either of these ADRs, but I'm expecting him to stop hunt clearly and then move my direction So my ADR will help me a lot to know how long or how deep my stop hunt will be. If I see my ADR actually touching the Asian box, I know that on that particular day, there is no stop hunt. On that particular day, there is no stop hunt. I hope I have answered this question. Let me go to the next question. The next question says that for an MPL bounce, is it a must to be exactly on the MPL line? I mean, what if it goes just below? Okay, let me tell you something. I always tell people that if all our M's and W's in the market were like a QWERTY keyboard, then everyone was going to be a millionaire. Everyone was going to be a millionaire. So the MPL bounce does not really have to be a clean and clear bounce all the time. Sometimes the market can actually give you a perfect MPL bounce. Sometimes the market can actually give you a bounce that is actually cutting the MPL. But because from the candles, I would be knowing what should happen, I am expecting to see a bounce. No matter what, whether you cut it a little bit, I don't care. But as long as from the candles, I'm seeing a setup, a TDI to me then acts as an added confirmation. So it will not always be a straight and clear bounce. I hope I explained that one. Then someone is saying that, can we say the same on volatilities on the pullback? Sorry for not being on Euro USD. When we are talking about the pullback, it is very true. Now, to shed some light on volatilities, normally what volatilities do, they normally exceed a little bit our EMAs. They don't just touch on the EMA all the time. Volatilities, they normally exceed the EMAs a little bit, but if you know what you are looking for, you don't shake because there is this. You know that they are going to validate it no matter what. So we can still use them, these pullbacks, even on volatilities. Then someone is saying, how do you really know the anchor point like you do, to the extent of risking the whole account? Oh, that's a very big question. That's a very big question. But anyway, to touch a little on it, you should know how to identify a peak. You should know how to identify a peak. You should know how to enter a peak. If you know these two, you can be able to risk your whole account. And this is not a one-day thing, to be honest with you. It will take you a while long to be able to master these, especially the second point. Especially the second point. It will take you a whole lot of time to be able to master it. But once you master it, you will not forget it. Once you master it, you will not forget it. How do you know about your trend direction? Okay, there are many things as far as trend direction is concerned. There are many things as far as trend direction is concerned. Number one, trend direction, we know the MMM cycle. This MMM cycle is perfect in knowing our trend direction. Number two, this is number one. Number two, our TDI will help us to know the trend direction, because every time when the MMM cycle moves, your price will keep on bouncing on the MBO going up. If it's on the downward move, your MBA will be, sorry. Your MBA will actually be bouncing at the bottom going down. That's how you know your trend direction. Number three, you know your trend direction using EMAs. If a peak forms at 800 EMA, just know that your peak will then move to the 50 EMA, hit the 200 EMA, come back to the 50 EMA, go up, and then bump again to the 200 EMA, and then go up. That's another way of knowing your trend direction. Another way, again, of knowing your trend direction using EMAs is that your EMA 50-200 will cross over. The next thing, your 50 and 800 will cross over. The next thing, your 200 and 800 will cross over. I know that I just said this in passing, but then for the guys who are going to be in Harare, we are going to host a seminar in Harare, and I'm going to explain this in detail. So right now, I'll just speak in surface so that at least we don't waste time on one question. But if you need more, I'm going to explain more as we move on. Don't worry, the knowledge I'm going to give you. Can you please post or upload the exact template as what you have on your screen? Thank you. Okay, the template that is on the screen now is not mine, but it's Arthur's template. So if you need it, he's going to post it for you on Telegram. You will talk to him, you will post it on Telegram. Then someone says, please, how do you determine the HOD or the LOD? Guys, this is very, very, very simple. This is very, very, very simple. How do you determine the HOD or the LOD? Sorry for my network. How do you determine the HOD or the LOD? This is very, very simple. Now, we have our Asian box. Boom. HOD. 3 pushes down. LOD. The next thing, we are on our Asian box. So the question is, how do we determine the HOD or the LOD? Let me be frank with you. The first thing that determines our HOD and our LOD is just by spotting the M's and the W's. Spot the M and the W, you already know that's your LOD and your HOD. Number 2, your stop hand should be at least 0 to 50 pips, at least 0 to 50 pips. In that way, you can determine the area where your HOD is going to form. Number 3, HODs tend to form at the previous HOD of the previous day. Sometimes, not all the days, but sometimes you can determine using that. Sometimes you can determine using your TDI, which is the MPL bounce on the second leg. You can also use that as your determination that you are now at an HOD or an LOD. There are many things that you can use, a whole lot of things. Here I'm simply talking about simple things that you can see with your visual eye. You can even use the EMAs. Sometimes, to be frank with you, the market always loves doing this. Let me show you. The market always loves doing this. The market always loves doing this. The market always loves doing this. The market will come from, okay. The market will actually come from the Asian box, stop and there, go down. The following day, the market will stop and there, go down. The third day, the market will stop and there, go down. The market will stop and they go down. Now, why are these stop hunting at the same point? That's the reason why price action guys, sometimes they end up placing a line there. That line to them becomes a trend line to say this is exactly where the market is going. But as far as the BTMM is concerned, you find that this is the 200 EMA. They always respect the 200 EMA. They always respect the 200 EMA, and they will keep on hitting on it on their way down or on their way up. If it's on their way up, then they will be hitting it from the bottom. The market loves doing this, to be honest with you. Just check it out from the charts. You will see that most of your HOTs and LOTs, they form around that area. Someone is saying, I didn't hear the name of who to speak to concerning the template. Can you write this name out? Thank you. Okay. The guy is asking about Arthur. The guy is asking about Arthur. I don't know if that is clear. Or you can say Mr. Romantic. He is the guy who is going to give you the template. If you want it, you can talk to him. He will send it to the Telegram channel. So, I don't know. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Because right now, The time is 23:41. So by 45, I should be ending the session. Then we'll also have another session tomorrow. So don't worry, don't ask all your questions for the whole year. There is still a lot of time to ask questions. We are still here. So I need one more question before we close the meeting. One more question before we close the meeting. If there is no more question, then it's okay still. All right, I've got one question there. So the second leg will always appear on the New London, New York session changeover. Yes, you got that right. The second leg will always appear there. The second leg, especially for US pairs, the second leg will always appear at the beginning of the session changeover, and the first leg will always appear 30 to 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes inside London session. Inside London session. You can check it for yourselves. If you want to calculate or prove me wrong, you can check for yourself. This is the session changeover, and here are your 3 candles there. This is the session changeover. Here are your 3 candles there. So it will always appear during that time, especially on USD pairs. Now, someone is saying basically we should trade around too. I can't really say that, but I will support. I can't really say that, but I will support, because a pair will come, a setup can form at any time, but generally around those times between 1 o'clock going to maybe around 5, that's when most USD pairs, they give perfect setups. So if you enter them at London Open, I'm going to be frank with you, you can hold the whole session and the pair will be stagnant. Now, let me take this one question. What is the guy saying? Is this only and always on M15? Yes, we are talking about M15 here because initially we were talking about a safety trade. And the safety trade is best executed at M15 time frame. And M15 time frame is very good for entries. So that is why we are talking about the M15 time frame. Guys, I hope you have learned a lot. We shall meet again tomorrow for our Zoom meeting number 3. I hope you are going to learn a lot again. Have a good night. Enjoy. Cheers. Thank you so much for paying attention and listening. Tomorrow again, we meet and we talk. I will also update you about the time and so forth. I think, Mr. Romantic, you can end the meeting. Thank you so much for your assistance.